Hi, I'm Ron. I have an ileostomy and I'm 74 years old, as you can probably tell. I got my ileostomy when I was 25, so I've had it for 49 years. And I had 40 wonderful years, and then I had a hip replacement, and then I got stopped up, and I spent 8 years getting it straightened out. But anyway, through all the time that I've had it, I've tried every product there is to work. And I started off with a rubber bag that was reusable, and it was black and rubber, and you couldn't see through it or anything. It's one piece, and those were terrible. And then we finally learned they finally made new products. So I've tried them all. Coloplast uh, and uh, one of my Hollister are my two favorites. I used Coloplast for a long time until I started having all those surgeries. Then Coloplast wouldn't work because my body changed. I lost over 100 pounds through all these surgeries, and so I have crags and crevices and things like that that I didn't have before. I used to be able to change my pouch over the toilet any time of day, but now I have a prolapse, which you'll see what that is if you don't know in a few minutes. And with a prolapse, you can't stand over the toilet because your stoma comes out on you. So I have to lay down. And I found that the best time to change it is early in the morning, like 8 or between 8 and 9, because at that time you're not going much. And most of the time I don't go at all while I'm changing. But of course, it does happen. So anyway, I wanted to show you this is one of the things that a person wanted me to show how I use this. This is called a sheet. Coloplast makes this, and it looks pretty limber here, but wait till I take this part off. It's even more so. But first you have to prepare it. Now I use a two-piece Hollister for a couple of reasons. One, I don't like a one-piece because you can't get it centered as easily. And so I use a two-piece. With this two-piece, this exactly fits this Coloplast sheet. And so you get it to where it's even on it like this. Then you have to make a mark because this doesn't come cut to size. So you make that mark in there. When you do, then this mark right here is dead center. When you get through doing that, then you can take this one and you can cut it out to the size of your particular stoma, which with mine is 1.25 inches. So I'll take these scissors and cut it out. And I don't use this to make my final circle the size of 1.25 inches because a lot of times I get in a hurry and I don't make it real straight. So that's why I do it in two pieces. So this piece now is ready to be used. Then I take the sizing chart piece, put it in the center like this, and get this little circle in the center of this bigger circle, which is easier because you have that little circle to go by, and then you have it almost exactly where you need it in the center. Then you lay it down and you mark it. Okay, now for me, I have a little offset on my stoma, so I've learned how to mark it again on the top like this, so that you can see it's got a second circle there. That's because I have an offset on the top, and I've learned how to do that so that this piece covers all my stoma. Then you have to take a pointed pair of scissors to cut this out. when I had my surgery, my hip surgery, it caused a blockage, and for some reason my small intestine wouldn't wake up. And so it took a process of 13 or 14 surgeries over a 5-year period to finally get it to work. And in that process, twice I had a prolapse stoma that when it came out, it come clear down in my bag. And so they had to do resections on them. And I ended up, now that's how it looks when it's cut. And I end up having to work with a prolapse stoma. This one doesn't prolapse quite as bad, and so it only comes out of ways, but I still have to be careful with it. Now then, you get that cut, then you have the top of it has a spot here that opens like this, so that you have a spot you can grab a hold of this that's real sticky. You can grab a hold of it and not have to grab a hold of the sticky part. Sometimes just kind of, when you lay it down like this, pull it straight down. As you see, it's quite sticky. Okay, now then for me, on my stoma, I have a spot down here in the bottom. They had a hard time getting me fitted for something that would keep from breaking loose. And finally, I figured out how to do it. I used to use a ring, and the ring got to where it just didn't work good because it was too thick. This is thin. This is like a second skin. But this paste, which is made by Convatec, I found is the best paste that I can find. Several companies making them, and I'm going to endorse this one. Anyway, so you take your paste, wherever you might have a crag. Sometimes you have to put it all the way around. In mine, I can just put it right here in the bottom. So I do it like this, and I turn it up, and I put it, a bead of it, right here along the bottom. And then I take it and lift it up and look at it and make sure that it's even right around the bottom of it. Sometimes you have to take it, move it a little bit. Of course, it's stuck to this, so it doesn't move a lot, but it does move a little. And you can stretch it out. This is stuff that you can mold to whatever you want it to look like. Okay, so when that's done, you're ready. Now, I use a stoma adhesive powder because that takes care of sores. I used to have sores on my skin, and one of the things you can do is take this adhesive powder, put it on that sore, tamp it down a little bit, and then you take this spray right here and you spray it over it. That locks it in. That is a healing powder, so it'll stay in there and it'll heal your sore. I still have sometimes around the edge a sore, so I use that around the edge, and I use this, found that this cleaning pad is the best cleaning pad to use on around your stoma. There's other brands, but that just happens to be the one that I think is the best. Okay, so then, pause please.